Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, as of this post, it is that special time of year where special resolutions are made and everyone gets a fresh start. As for me, my commitment should be obvious. We celebrated with beer, cake, hamburgers, and hot dogs. We don't have fireworks here, so we couldn't experience that. However, the beautifully lit night sky made up for it. Anyway, now that I've gotten the New Year pleasantries out of the way, back to where I left off last post. I wonder what's worse, getting eaten by a snake or getting swallowed by one. I guess it depends on whether or not you prefer dying fast or slow. With the former, you don't suffer as much. However, the latter gives you more of a chance of getting saved. Of course, if the snake both poisons prey and swallows them alive, well, you're fucked on both accounts. Speaking of which, we were about to head into the open maws of one. The snake almost seemed to have this gleeful hunger in its eyes. It was as if it not only took delight in consuming, but also the fear of its meal. Quick, give me your torch, Carl shouted. I slid it to him and he grabbed it. He then pulled the dagger from his pocket and, using the torch, heated it up. The heat worked fast because only after a second the blade was glowing red. Right before we reached the edge, he threw his now heated knife. His aim was on point because it went right into the snake's eye, causing it to let out a scream of pain in recoil. The fact that it worked was both relieving and shocked. I mean, I knew Carl's aim was good, but it was like he had the eyes of an eagle. Still, we weren't out of the woods yet. We slid down its belly, having shaken off the pain, and now, incredibly pissed off, it gave chase. It was a shame, really. Not even 5 minutes ago, I was actually having a little fun. Now, I was hoping to Christ we'd be able to escape the reptile currently snapping at us. I could feel the wind from each of its attempted bites. I'm pretty sure it nearly got my head with one. I think it was trying to be careful in order to avoid biting itself. We reached its tail, which touched the ground below. Like the path, it too was slippery, and we slid across it into a small tunnel as the snake was barreling toward us. We managed to escape it by the skin of our teeth. The tunnel we went through led to another room, and we stopped when our feet hit its wall. "Carl," I said, breathing heavily. "Yeah, I fucking hate this place." The sooner we found Nick and got out of there, the better. Both weren't going to be easy tasks. The first step was finding out how to get out of the room we were in. "I don't see a switch," I told Carl after examining the wall. "What about you?" He was checking along the floor. "Nope. Shit, this might be a dead end. There might be something above us, but the wall's too smooth to climb. Wait, do you see that?" "See what?" Poking just below the shadow above was what looked to be some kind of thread. We might be able to climb it if we got it down. Any ideas? The walls seem a little hollow. Carl's idea was for us to kick at the wall in hopes it would make the thread fall down to us. This did eventually work after quite some effort. My foot was sore by the time we got the thread to fall down. It turned out not to just be a thread, but a web, and a thick one too. This gave us another worry. If Lord of the Rings has taught me anything, giant webs usually mean giant spiders. Either that, or the webbing was made by giant silkworms. With our luck, though, the former was more likely the occurrence. All we could do is try to climb as silently as possible. Coral made sure to hold the torch away from the rope so it didn't become a flame. Remember how much fun it was to climb the rope in gym class? Yeah, me neither. However, it did turn out to be a skill that would help me, unlike half the things I learned in school. By the time we reached the top, my muscles were on fire. The area's walls were covered in webbing and stretched far above our heads. Holy shit, I said, seeing what it was wrapped around. The webs held various corpses with bites taken out of them. Some looked strangely alien, while others seemed disturbingly human, albeit a lot hairier. One thing was for sure, we did not want to meet whatever caught them. A pained moan made us turn our heads. Among several disembodied arms and legs was Nick. From the looks of it, he'd been knocked out and was just now waking up. We got him down and helped him to his feet. Nick, what did this to you? I asked. Spiders, he replied, shaking off his fatigue. Big ones. I fucking knew it. Did you happen to pass any possible exits when they took you here? No, I only remember them pouncing on me, and then I woke up here. Are they poisonous? They didn't bite me, so I'm not sure. We'll assume that they are, to be on the safe side, Carl said. Let's get moving before they come back. The webs became even thicker the deeper we went in. It got to the point where we needed to slice through them. Eventually, we came to another section. This one was unusually dark, even with the torch. What's with this place? Nick asked. There's almost no visibility. Wait a sec, I said, staring at what we thought initially was a wall. I realized what it really was and got a strong, we need to get the fuck out of here feeling. They must have figured it out too, because their expressions matched how I felt. Before we could get out of there, they awoke. The pitch-dark room now became illuminated by multiple sets of 6 glowing red eyes. Run, I yelled. I can't say for sure how many exactly they were. Just at a glance, there had to be a couple of hundred at least. Did you know a group of spiders is apparently called either a cluster or a clutter? Personally, I really don't find those to be a fitting term given the size of the ones chasing us. Something like a swarm or big-ass scary motherfuckers would be more fitting. The sound of their skittering legs was unnerving as hell. The noise was akin to nails being rapidly scraped against dry metal. To make matters worse, we didn't have anywhere to go. The only place we could go was back down to where me and Carl climbed up. There wasn't really enough time for us to do that, so Carl came up with something else. You know what they say, if you can't beat 'em, burn 'em. He touched the torch to some of the webbing. The entire area instantly became engulfed in fire. We were safe from it since we were just outside of the spider's lair. They weren't so lucky. They writhed, shrieking in the flames. Some panicked and ran right off the edge where we stood. We thought that was the end of the matter. Then we heard something else move toward us. Its skittering was so loud it was practically thunderous. We saw it peek out from where the spiders came out. Through the flames, we saw a spider so large the others may have well been shrimp by comparison. It was their mother. That'll be all for now. See you all next week.